Women need to stop competing with men. They are embarrassing themselves and they don't even realize it. In these 3 areas, women play by very different rules to men. By the end of this video, you'll understand how women who try to compete with men were always destined to fail. Let's begin.
Babe, how much do you think that boat over there costs?
Maybe like 4 million?
4 million?
Yeah. Actually, no. No, that's 5 million.
Oh, 5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the caption reads, "The female brain is just built different." And that look on the guy's face, I could relate. So many conversations I've had in my life with women about history or geography where I discover that they don't know something like who Napoleon was or why the South China Sea is important for world trade. I don't know, just like random facts that I consider non-negotiable, like essential for my understanding people and how the world works and how we created the cultures that we live in, only to find that that information doesn't stick for women because they don't consider that important. But this woman who thinks that this massive cruise liner costs $5 million to build. I'm like, what is your conception of money? For anybody curious, the ship cost about $1 billion. But when he says that the female brain is different, he isn't lying. That's a fact. The female brain has superior interhemispheric connectivity, linking the left brain to the right brain. That's ideal for social cognition, for empathy, verbal fluency, and multitasking. Some women might not know who Napoleon was, but there are many things that they know that they consider to be essential to the understanding of the world that I'm clueless about, because my male brain has much greater intrahemispheric activity. This is what allows men to specialize in pattern recognition, sequential processing, spatial reasoning, problem solving, taking action. You have been told that gender is a construct, that there is no difference between men and women, but you have been lied to. The differences between men and women are huge. And it's not just the obvious physical differences in reproductive organs and muscle mass, it's behavior and personality. Just consider our hormones. Men have 20 times more testosterone than women. That's gonna have an impact. Men and women are different, and that's okay. It's not a problem so long as we don't take ourselves too seriously. The differences between the genders is a strength, it's an advantage, and it's also just something funny for us to laugh about.
Women can't make machine gun noises with their mouth.
Crystal, make machine gun noises with your mouth.
Pop, 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 pop.
Oh my God, yeah, that checks. Summer, make machine gun noises with your mouth.
Pew, pew, pew.
That's even worse. Is Taya in the pool house?
Yeah, and Jane's by the pool.
Got it. How can y'all not make machine gun noises with your mouth? Absolutely ridiculous. Jaden, make machine gun noises with your mouth.
What?
This is not a Kendrick Lamar song. What are we doing? Lord, have mercy. 0 for 3. Taya, make machine gun noises with your mouth. No, not at all. 0 for 4. It's not that hard. We can do it, Jake. Do it. This ain't hard. What are we doing?
I'm guessing you all want to take a moment to make a machine gun noise with your mouth. It's fine. I'll be quiet. Satisfying. It's fun to do. See, it's funny to notice the obvious differences between men and women. We are different. And for most of human history, that was common sense, that men and women are not the same, that we exist inside our own lanes. When women try to outperform men in a competitive, performance-based environment, the research says that they fall short and are beaten by men. But that doesn't mean that women are inferior or that every workplace is sexist. What it does mean is that to make a comparison between men and women doesn't make sense because men and women are different. But right now, in this cultural moment, we are living inside this weird social experiment where women feel competitive with men and they are desperate to prove themselves and to outperform men. It's like this mind virus that has infected the female brain, that has convinced her that she is deficient unless she triumphs over men. But that makes no sense. We're different genders. Have you, as a man, ever felt competitive with a woman? Have you ever stood next to a fashionable woman and you've looked at her handbag and thought, oh my goodness, she's so good at accessorizing. I look like an idiot next to her. I need to up my wallet game. Otherwise, she wins. Or have you seen the way that a woman remembers all of her friends' birthdays and she writes little handwritten cards for them that she has crafted herself? You've looked at that and have you thought, I am in competition with her. I need to up my arts and crafts game. I need to beat her at being more emotionally available and thoughtful. It doesn't happen. Men don't think like that because men don't view women as their competition. Yes, all these other men around me, I'm trying to outperform them, but that woman, no, she's not my competitor. But for some reason, feminism decided to launch this experiment where women felt compelled to compete against men. And it has made everything into a huge mess. In this video, I'm going to explore 3 key areas of life where men and women handle things very differently, where success and failure are measured by entirely different metrics. And women trying to outcompete men in these arenas is exacting devastating personal costs on the women themselves and on society as a whole. I'm talking, of course, about money, power, and sex. But first, I want to talk about another competition that a lot of men unfortunately lose, and that is in the contest of addiction. Life is hard, it's stressful, and a lot of us come to depend on habits that we know are not good for us. But what if change doesn't look like quitting, but replacing? That's where the sponsor of today's video, Fume, comes in. They are offering a simple and enjoyable way to break away from bad habits while still giving you something satisfying to reach for. I'm a fidgety person. I'm constantly stimming. If you know, you know. And this thing is just perfect. It's so tactile. It's twisty. It's clicky. It's weighted. This thing is always in my hands. And it delivers a great taste without any harmful chemicals. No vapor, no nicotine, just natural flavored air delivered to your mouth, not your lungs. My favorite flavor used to be raspberry lemon, but recently I've been all about the black licorice. It's a flavor I didn't try at first because I thought it might be bitter, but it's not. It's sweet. It's delicious. With your Fume, you can just pick it up and go. There's no batteries, no charging. It's great, and there's a reason why over 500,000 people have already integrated it as part of their daily routine. And right now, if you order the Journey Pack using my code, Alexander Grace, you'll get a free Fume topper. So if you've been thinking about changing your habits, this is a perfect first step. Go to tryfume.com/Alexander Grace or scan the QR code on screen and get yours today. Okay, back to the video and the 3 areas where women are trying to compete with men and making a huge mess. We're talking about money, power, and sex. Let's start with money. In the modern economy, men and women are competing with each other for jobs, for promotions, desperately trying to get that raise and have a higher income than the competition. But think about it. How can we meaningfully compare financial success between men and women when the purpose of creating wealth is completely different for each gender?
Men work hard to make money to get women. Women work hard to make money to not have a man. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple statement, but it hits at a core truth. From the outset of our evolution, men competed against other men for survival resources and status. And in the modern world, money, income, and wealth has become the battleground where men channel that instinct. Your financial success becomes a scoreboard for your strength and rank. To a man, earning money is not optional. It's how he earns respect. It's how he forms his identity. And most importantly, it's what grants him sexual access. Financial failure for a man is existential. Without a reliable income, he's not likely to reproduce. Women don't date broke men, full stop. And that's one of the reasons why unemployment hits the male identity and self-worth a lot harder than it does for women. For a man, losing his job increases his risk of depression, divorce, suicide. So you see, money for a man, it's not just practical, it relates to his identity, his sense of meaning. He earns money to prove that he is capable of providing for a family, that he's worthy of their love and trust. If he loses his job and all of his savings, the fall for a man is so steep. But that's not the case for women. Their fall is very small, it's cushioned. No woman's desirability has ever depended upon her paycheck. Men don't care how much money a woman makes. Women are judged on different standards.
Men know that they are providers. A man's value is his money and his career, and a woman's value is her looks. That's the fucking truth, and that's the world that we live in. Women get things because they are pretty, and men have power because they have money.
Do you see that for so many men, they absolutely have to earn their money? They work like their life depends on it. But for many women, they can treat their employment more like a hobby. Yes, we have a lot of women in the workplace right now, but what do you think is going to happen if artificial intelligence replaces the vast majority of white-collar work? What do you think women will do?
What y'all don't get is us girlies in our early 30s, we've been hustling. We fell victim to the girl boss shit, and we was girl bossing for the last decade. We went to school, we started our businesses, we bought houses. We've been doing this shit on our own. We've been on our independent woman shit. My mans, I'm trying to have some babies. And you want me out here working too and hustling?
Let me tell you, if work and employment no longer means typing on a computer from the comfort of an air-conditioned office, now going to work and having a job means back-breaking physical labor, learning a trade, working in conditions that are often dangerous. Men are going to keep going to work. They have to. They've got to make the money. They won't have a choice. On the other hand, a lot of women are going to bow out and say, no, I don't vibe with this. That whole employment, having a job thing, that was more like a hobby. I liked the money and I was happy to work so long as it was fun and comfortable, but there's no way I'm going to become a plumber or start building houses or go work in the mines. Hell no, I'm going to find me a provider husband and make some babies. Women have that option. A lot of them will take it. Men do not. And so how can we be in competition? To have a meaningful competition means you both have to be chasing the same goal. And in the modern world, while it's true that women have their own money, their relationship to money is completely different to men's. Like in that opening TikTok where the woman had no idea how much a cruise ship would cost. She's like, oh, 5 million? She has no sense of what $5 million is worth. But it's through the act of earning money that you learn its true value. You guys have probably heard these insane statistics about women's spending, that women account for 85% of purchases, and they drive 70 to 80% of all consumer spending. That's insane. That's incredible. But how is it possible? Do you think that women are making 80% of the money? That women are paying 80% of the taxes? Because they're not. But this is my point, is that when you have access to money that you did not directly earn yourself, it gives you a completely different relationship to it. And unlike men, women have means of gaining access to money without employment. But it begs the question, 85% of consumer spending, if women already control the flow of money, why do they feel the need to compete with men financially? The claim is that financial independence is a source of female empowerment. Having money gives her power, but that is an extremely superficial understanding. If she believes that money is what gives her power, then she has forgotten that she is a woman. In trying to out-earn men, she is competing with men in a masculine way. But thousands of years of evolution have already ensured that this is a complete dead end for women. Wealth is not what gives femininity its power. For a woman, she expresses her power and feels powerful in a completely distinct way. Masculine power, with its clear purpose, strict authority, and consequences, that is completely foreign to most women. They don't have the innate biological coding to understand power as it's expressed in the masculine form. It's like a foreign language to them. They don't get it, a point that was made abundantly clear by that Roman Empire TikTok trend.
Do you think about the Roman Empire ever?
Yeah, I guess, sometimes.
How often?
I don't know. Once a week. How do you not think about the Roman Empire?
Probably not a lot. Why?
Not a lot. When was the last time you thought about it?
Maybe a week or two ago. The Roman Empire was a very big part in history.
I don't know, every couple days.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know, once a week. Why?
Why?
I don't know, a lot of history. Are you recording me?
No.
Then why are you asking me about how often I think about the Roman Empire?
Because I'm curious. I feel like it's something you think about.
A fair amount.
Really?
What? How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Never.
Why?
Why do you think about it?
Why do you never think about it?
This trend was really popular on TikTok for a while, and I think most people like me just thought this was great. This is like light-hearted humor. Again, like look at the differences between men and women. But there were some women who just didn't get the joke. They took it really seriously. And they thought the point of the trend was just to like paint men as weirdos who just think about random stuff. But for men, it's normal to think about things like ancient Rome because the Roman Empire represents everything that male power feels like. Leadership, conquest, rules and structure, stability in a chaotic world, and of course, poignant lessons about the dangers of hubris and the fall of Rome. You see, for men, power is something that is earned through competence and reliability, and it's expressed with precision and clear consequences for acting outside of the hierarchy. And so, of course, Rome makes sense to us. It's rich in lessons about masculinity and power. But for women, it seems like thinking about ancient Rome is a complete waste of time because they don't relate to it in the same way. Women don't build hierarchies, women build networks. Female power expresses itself through influence, not brute force. She knows that she doesn't need to rule a kingdom to control it. Why would a woman choose domination over subtle influence when influence has always been effective? Men might think about Rome because it's this fascinating example of how masculine power manifests. We like to think about its systems and structures and compare it to other empires. But for women, it makes no sense because there's no lessons in ancient Rome for them. Women express their power differently. And their expression of that power is going to be the same no matter what social system or civilization she finds herself in. Femininity expresses its power through social influence, through raising children, through reputation management. They're happy to leave the military laws to men, but they're going to exercise strict control over the moral framing of issues and establishing themselves as the emotional authority. And that is just innate to women. That was as true back in ancient Rome as it is in the modern day. But do you see that given that women have a completely different approach to power than men, that's why the notion of them competing with men makes no sense. It's why the results are often disastrous. When women do try and exercise power in a masculine way, it often doesn't go well. You've probably seen the statistics that shows that when a queen was the sovereign of a country, they were 27% more likely to go to war than when a king was in charge. That overt, masculine, out in the open leadership is not what comes natural to women. And the research shows that not even women want other women to be in charge. The majority of women say that they would prefer to have a man in a leadership position in their workplace. And that's okay. Women were not meant to compete with men. There's no reason why a woman should feel inferior. The feminine expression of power was never meant to be channeled through an individual. They're not built to be lone wolves. Female power is expressed together as a group through cooperation and community. She doesn't need to dominate others to be strong. She weaves people together. She creates connections and alliances. And that's completely valid. More than that, it's necessary. Men and women need each other. Masculine power organizes the external world. It sets rules and builds walls. But feminine power organizes the internal world. It creates trusts and makes sure that life within those walls is worth living. And when they work together, you get civilization. But if they turn on each other, then you just get confusion. Because when women start seeing men as rivals for power, not only does it make her miserable as an individual, but it quickly destroys any sense of genuine teamwork and cooperation. Men stop seeing women as partners to protect and start instead seeing them as rivals to resist. And this is why chivalry has disappeared. Why am I going to act like a gentleman and do favors for a woman when she is doing everything that she can to outrank me in the hierarchy? I'm not going to help her. She has openly declared herself to be my competition. The social contract has been broken. The masculine urge to lift women up, that exists only so long as she is not competing with him, as long as he feels like she's on his side. And this brings us to our final section.
Okay, we need to normalize the amount of people that women actually sleep with. I went on a first date with this guy last week, and he goes, yeah, I always judge a girl if she sleeps with me on the first date. I'm sorry, Frank, but aren't you sleeping with her on the first date too? Somebody please tell me why it is okay for men to sleep with as many women as they want, but yet women cannot sleep with as many men as they want. I'm so confused as to why women are called sluts and men aren't.
I'm going to spend the rest of the video talking about the ridiculous way that women are trying to outcompete men in the sexual arena. Now, unfortunately, to do this section justice, I'm going to need to use some language that would likely get me demonetized here on YouTube, but luckily that's what Patreon is for. So if you want to listen to the different reproductive strategies that men and women have, how that shapes our behavior, and why the impulse to compete with men sexually is perhaps the most destructive impulse that a woman can follow, you can keep watching this video on Patreon. That's where I post the extended versions of all of my videos. If you like my content, and it seems like I do, you watch this one all the way to the end, then I guarantee you're going to love the Patreon content. Come on over and check it out. And remember, if you're ready to kick old habits, check out Fume. You can click the link in the description box below.